In preparation for the training program you're about to take, we would encourage you to have a current copy of the coaching guideline document that is available in the video description link, or you can obtain a copy by visiting the Big Country Soccer Association website at www.bigcountrysa.com. Once you're at that site, go to the coaching resource page and you can obtain your copy there. The other document we would like you to have is the Coach Orientation Reflection Form. And again, this is found on the Big Country Soccer Association website on the forms page, or you can download a copy in the video description. This training program was prepared for you in order for Big Country Soccer Association to be in compliance with our Standards for Quality Soccer, or SQS for short. This is a certification process by Canada Soccer Association that requires all clubs and/or associations to meet a standard of excellence for providing a safe soccer program, ensuring safe and inclusive soccer development for a lifetime. As you follow along in this presentation, you will see this icon in the bottom of the slides with a page number. This icon will let you know what page of the coaching guideline document we are in so that you can follow along with the presentation and the guideline together. If you have everything you need, then let's get started. As a soccer coach, you will be provided and/or have access to the necessary basic equipment to help your role as a soccer coach for your team. It is important that the correct equipment is used to ensure the quality soccer experience for both the coaches and the players. Many coaches who have extended experience in the sport may also have their own personal equipment. If this is the case, Big Country Soccer Association is not responsible for equipment that the coach is supplying themselves. To help ensure registered members are aware of soccer equipment requirements, Big Country Soccer Association has developed and published a general guideline called Soccer Equipment Management. This guideline helps ensure proper inspection and management of their community soccer equipment, as being both in compliance with associated FIFA laws of the game, but also, most importantly, the equipment is in a condition that will not hinder the development of youth soccer participants or may be a risk of causing player injuries. As a coach, you may be required to sign for equipment at the start of the season, and then, once the season is over, you return the equipment. What is important as the coach, you are responsible for that equipment under your care. Remember, coaches, if you have any concerns regarding the condition or type of equipment provided, coaches are encouraged to contact the registered member representative who is managing the soccer equipment for the community soccer program and discuss their concerns. In this next chapter, we will cover the general guidelines in place for coaches and the practice activities for their teams for the season. This chapter is not all-encompassing, but is a minimum requirement. In the guidelines, we have proposed the following practice time durations to ensure players have been provided good time at practice learning the drills, skills, and game requirements. Some communities may be restricted on the time, so time may vary slightly. However, Big Country Soccer Association recognizes the importance to ensure players and coaches are given sufficient time to practice and learn the game, especially as they're growing into the older age groups. With the years of coaching I have acquired, one thing that was very important to me and contributed to my success as a coach and success on player development, that one thing was to show up early to set up the session and get your mind thinking about the session drills and main focus points. When I show up early, I set up my drills so that I can move from drill to drill instead of pausing practice to set up for the next drill, wasting time on not developing players and reducing ball work time. Additionally, when I set up drills, I walk through the drills and mentally prepare myself for how I will coach the drills when the team arrives. Give your players as much quality coaching time as possible. The difference in their development will be noticeable as they gain more experience in the sport. For those coaches that show up just at the start of practice and are not prepared, there will be a limit to that method of coaching for both you as well as player development. I remember coaching teams where I said to myself, man, I wish my players could drive. I said this because there were times where players were arriving right at the start of practice and are not ready until 5 or 10 minutes after practice has already started. Big Country Soccer Association recognizes the importance of your time, and we have prepared this guideline for player arrival time to practices. This is something that would be important to cover with your parents at a preseason meeting. Remember, as a coach, you have drills set up and are ready to go. When players are not there on time and ready, this hurts not just your ability to coach, but also the other players that are there and ready to be coached. Some of the initial drills you have set up may require a set number of players to be present to start. If the players are not present, it stops the practice from starting off as you had planned. This is a good subject for a team manager to cover with parents if you are lucky enough to have a parent volunteer help out. With Big Country Soccer Association's long-term player development requirements, coaches today have a much more focused set of criteria for coaching youth soccer. Players at this age level are more at an introductory stage. Now, that doesn't mean that all players will be at the same level. You may have some players that are standout, where they have a little bit more experience in their soccer journey. If this is the case, we look to see if we can still challenge those players in different ways and still develop players. We want to coach players to be confident with the ball. Coaches in these age ranges have a tremendous influence in how players develop as they mature and grow into the older age groups. However, rest assured, coach, not is all up to you to figure this out. As mentioned in previous chapters, Big Country Soccer Association has developed age group curriculums that are developed to follow the Canada Soccer Association's long-term player development requirements and the four-corner model. These curriculums are designed as a tool for you to help remove a considerable amount of guesswork out of the coaching experience. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean all the work is done for you. You as the coach still have to build a practice plan for your team. This is something that supporting coaches with experience can assist you on, or you can contact Big Country Soccer Association for support on building practice plans. Don't forget, the rule of two requirements is enforced. Even with parents normally at the field watching, we prefer coaches to get into a good habit or routine of exercising the rule of two requirements. For more information on this policy, log on to the Big Country Soccer Association website and go to the policies page. At the age levels of U9 and older, here we start to transition to more technical and tactical introductions and work. As mentioned before, the age group curriculums are available for coaches as a tool to help guide coaching efforts. Because at U9 and older, games are scheduled with Big Country Soccer Association, and you will be competing with other teams from other communities, it's important for your role as a coach to set up expectations. For example, regardless if it was a practice or a game, players were to have a backpack for their belongings, and those bags were to be set up in a row. This was to establish a routine for players in the manner in which we were presenting ourselves, regardless of the soccer activity. Consider developing your routines at these age levels. As a coach, it may be necessary to use call-ups for games that are scheduled through Big Country Soccer Association. In these cases, you as the coach will make contact with the coach of the age group below to discuss player options on who would want to play up and, most importantly, is deserving of the opportunity to play up. The reason Big Country Soccer Association is insistent on coach-to-coach contact is because if a coach connects with a parent, there may be reasons why the player should not be given the opportunity, such as discipline issues, attendance issues, etc., with their current team. Coach-to-coach contact will help ensure the opportunity is going to a player that has earned the opportunity for the play-up. As mentioned, when coaching the younger age groups, at the U9 age group and older, the Rule of Two requirements are mandatory and enforced by Big Country Soccer Association. Depending on the coach, soccer homework may be an option. If a coach is looking to give out homework, it must be fun and relative to the age group curriculum, proportionate in time, and can be achieved by all players. As a quick recap, coaches, it's a good idea to get into a routine. How do you set up for practice, and what is the expectation of your players when they arrive to the practice field? Remember, make sure that you communicate those expectations with the parents, such as when players are expected to be at the field, and ensure players have a backpack or some bag that they can store their belongings in. Please complete sections 10 and 11 on the Coach Orientation Reflection Form. Congratulations, coaches, on completing Part 5 of the Coaching Orientation on the Coaching Guidelines document for Big Country Soccer Association. Make sure that you've completed the Coach Orientation Reflection Form, and you can now progress to Part 6 in this orientation series.